Hey, welcome to the Raw Food Health Empowerment Podcast. I'm your host, Samantha Salmon, certified integrative nutrition coach and brain health licensed trainer. And today I want to talk about the most important thing for health improvement. And the most important thing is this question. Ask yourself, what is the most important thing I should do to improve my health? Ask yourself that. What is the most important thing I should do to improve my health right now? Because I'm pretty sure you've done a lot. A lot of you have read books, read recipe books. You pretty much know a lot of things. We know a lot, especially now. There's so much information being shared. We know quite a lot. Yet, there are things we haven't reached our goals, and we need to be figuring out why. What is the most important thing I should do to improve my health? And for each person, that's a little bit different. So I really encourage you to complete this sentence. The most important thing I should do to improve my health is, and share your thoughts in the comments so we can support each other here on YouTube, build like a community right here on YouTube. For me, I'm going to share, for me personally, 2024, typically my birthday is in November, very close to the end of the year. And that is actually when my personal year started. Our calendar was created by, I don't know, some Caesar or whoever, some old white man created this calendar. But God brought me into this world, in this manifestation, November 1986. So I used that date, my birthday, as my new year. On my birthday, I plan out, I do something like what I have my clients do. I have my clients do something like a goal sheet, but it's more a visualization exercise on print, on paper, where you map out the life that you want for yourself 6 months from now, a year from now. And so for me, I map out what I want my life to look like in these 12 different areas of life. In integrative nutrition, we call it the circle of life. And then I focus in on that, the top area. So I have my list. I check my list every morning, and I focus in, my action focuses in on the one thing that will make everything else fall into place, because there's typically that one thing. And so for me, I'm going to give you a little insight into my life. Hold on, I have to grab my journal. Oh, sorry. Okay. So I have it here in my journal in the beginning of my planner / journal, where I mapped out everything, the categories, what I'm looking to achieve. And so for me, I'm focusing in on the top 6 for this year of my life. And that's relationships, social life, joy, finances, career, home environment. And for me, the biggest thing that will make everything else work, the biggest thing out of all of that 6 that I've identified, the top one is relationships, right? Because my joy is something that I create, but it's also linked to loneliness. So I've had a recent history of, like, within the past, I don't know, since 2020 actually, dealing with feelings of loneliness, even though being around a lot of people. I was living in LA, but the pandemic and everything, but also what's happening in our world right now and within my own family from 2020 is just understanding that we are not all the same. We don't think the same, and we don't have the same perspectives, and which typically is fine, but being able to see why folks are triggered and bothered by certain things, there has been a challenge with understanding that. I think a lot of families have been going through this. We see it obviously on the internet, but I focus more on my real, like, in-person relationships. And when I say in-person, like, the clients I work with, I consider those real relationships. I talk to them face to face. We're having conversations. Those are real relationships. People who hide behind profiles and things like this, they don't show their face, they don't share their name. That stuff doesn't take priority as opposed to, like, the real ones. And for me personally, the most important thing that I am working on to improve my own health are the quality of my relationships. And this affects everything else. It affects the social life, the joy, the finances, the career, and the home environment. Like, it affects everything, which is why it's number one. So I'm honed in on that number one, which is a drastic difference from previous years. And it's a struggle for me. We all have something that we're working on. It doesn't matter who you are, what credentials you have. We all have something we're working on, because while we're all skilled and well knowledgeable in certain areas, there are areas we need to work on. So for you, it might be something like, and I'm just pulling up some notes here, maybe you're looking for a more balanced life. Maybe you're looking to work less and be more creative. You want real connection with people, right? You want a happier, more joyful life. You want to be healthier. You want to release that excess fat. Whatever those goals are for you, I highly recommend that you map it out for yourself and you hone in on the one thing that's going to make everything else fall into place. And I think that you will have a very successful and healthy 2024 in the process. On this journey, you have to maybe get out of your comfort zone a little bit. For me personally, I can share like the relationship piece. In order to improve my personal relationships, there are certain things that I need to do that are uncomfortable for me. It's very comfortable for me to speak my mind, and it's not as comfortable for me to not share everything that I'm thinking. Okay. And for some people, it's the exact opposite. But for me, for this year, 2024, that's one of the things that I am coaching myself on and mentally reminding myself every day. I don't have to share what I'm thinking. I don't have to share what I'm thinking. Actually, I shouldn't share what I'm thinking. And then I have resources of where to take it. This is actually how my journaling process started years ago, was because I had so many thoughts and I knew those thoughts would cause arguments and discord with me and the people I cared about. But I had to get these thoughts out. And so I took to my journal. I needed release, and my journal was my release. And so I'm just reminding myself of that now, because there are things that I really don't need to say to avoid arguments, to avoid discord. And so it's a work in progress. It's a practice, right? And this is what lifestyle means. Lifestyle means that you are practicing. Every day you are practicing until it becomes second nature to you, until it becomes part of the fabric of your DNA. And in that journey, it sometimes can be uncomfortable. Some people, for example, maybe one of the things they realize they need to do in order to achieve their health and wellness goals in 2024 is to be less busy and actually prioritize their health, which means that breaking free from the comfort zone is like not piling on all the stuff, not overworking. I know for me personally, historically, when I've fallen into overwork, it was because I was trying to avoid uncomfortable conversations with family members or avoid being bored. Work was an escape for creativity and also to not deal with relationship issues, which I'm now forcing myself to deal with because it's impacting other areas of my life. So we have to not only organize ourselves around goals, but also set healthy boundaries and overcome these comfort zones, right? Breaking free from the comfort zones. It can be uncomfortable to do these things, right? Because it's something new, it's something you're not used to. But we do it, we go through it in order to improve our health. So there's a goal, there's the light at the end of the tunnel, and we can see that light is actually what we've mapped out for ourselves. In my work, we call it the one-page miracle, and you can call it whatever. Before, I used to call it just my goal list. You could call it your manifestation map. Whatever you want to call it is fine. But having the goal, putting the plan together to get to that goal, having those small steps that you're going to work towards to become better and better at this thing, to reach the goal, And in the journey of doing this and being committed to the process, being focused on that process, you will enter into times that are really uncomfortable. And so you just want to make sure that you embrace these moments with full vigor. Don't shy away from them, because these are actually the golden opportunities to actually become the person that you're trying to become. You can't become those without going through these tough times, these uncomfortable situations. It's like the diamond, how a diamond is formed. It goes through so much pressure and fire, right, to form a beautiful diamond. And that's what's happening with us as well. So I hope this has been helpful for you. And in the next video, we're going to talk about the weight loss journey and boosting energy naturally.